everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I wanted to continue the series that I wanted to do for Teen Titans, the original series of the main cast. So today I'm drawing Raven, and I just wanted to get my thoughts out on video and get you caught up. So, school responsibilities and just everything I've been having to do lately has really been giving myself a hard time sometimes. But I also have realized within that time frame of being so occupied that I need to give myself time to do the things I enjoy doing too. And it's not a bad thing to be focused at all. Handling your priorities is very important. But when you don't pour back into yourself and also into the other parts of life that you enjoy, it starts to feel like something is missing. And I didn't realize it at first, but I've been a little bit burnt out the past few months. But a lot has changed, and emotions have, gone through its courses, and new opportunities has also struck. So it just got to a point to where I really didn't make time to sit and be still. And I wanted to draw Raven since I already did Starfire, and I plan to do the full main cast. So you know, stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe. She's always the calm one in the group, though. She thinks before she speaks, and she doesn't really act out of character too much. But she also has her moments where she gets into a dark place and or, you know, act out of character. It's easy to get into a dark place when you're not grounded within yourself. And when you're constantly moving, thinking, and doing, you don't give yourself time to process. You can start suppressing what you actually need. You focus more on the task you have to complete instead of understanding your thoughts for real. And then you end up you start acting out of character, you start doing things that you don't necessarily want to do, or agreeing to things because you're not really focused mentally, with yourself. You have to connect with yourself. And I feel like Raven is a good example of connecting with yourself. And for me, that's exactly what burnout looks like, a disconnect between you and what you genuinely want for yourself. So, really, a disconnect within yourself for me, if that makes sense. Um, when I finally slowed down, I realized how overwhelmed I actually was. And when I was reading over the course of these past few months, I read The Four Agreements, and it's a very popular book. And the first agreement talks about breaking the old agreement, the beliefs we inherit that don't actually serve us. And Raven is a perfect example of that. So if you think about it, her old agreement was created by her father, Trigon. And he told her she was a tool for destruction. He made her believe she was dark, dangerous, and destined to fail. But it was instilled in her that she was only capable of being corrupt and destructive. This was instilled with her by her father, mind you, her dad, her like life giver. You know what I mean? I don't know if she had a mom though. I I don't know about all that, but he was the source for her, and he honestly knocked her down. And her background could have easily shaped her and becoming a completely different person. She out here fighting bad guys and she the good guy when she's technically supposed to be the opposite. And she chose who she wanted to be. She didn't let those traits define her, even if it was in her DNA. She made a decision to be different. She broke the agreement. Chains broken. She realized that her past might be the source of her power, but it didn't have to be the direction of her life. And that's a word, amen. So, I guess one of my main takeaways is Raven isn't just a character who calmly speaks and has no reason for it. She's someone who actively grounds herself. and takes time to be alone, and she sits with her thoughts and she doesn't let the chaos define her when she can be having an episode. Sometimes it gets to a point where like it gets out of whack, but at the end of the day she goes back to that meditation state. And I think that's something that everybody might forget to do sometimes. And we get so caught up in life, school responsibilities, pressure, goals, and we start moving on autopilot, you see. And even if we're being productive, we're not always being present. And eventually that can catch up to you. And that's what burnout is. So for me, this is really about learning how to balance everything again and learning that it's okay to pause, it's okay to be still, it's okay to not always have something going on. And because of those moments of stillness, you actually start to hear yourself again. You hear what you need, you hear what you feel, you hear what you've been ignoring. And I know I have been ignoring certain things to do, and I feel like posting on YouTube was one of them. Okay, I promise. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I didn't do it, but now I'm being audacious. It's April, okay? It's second quarter. And that connects back to everything that I also been feeling spiritually too. In Psalms 46:10, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations, I will be exalted in the earth. For those who are spiritual, I know I am, so I can speak for myself. Um, this verse reminds me that there is a bigger order beyond anything that I can feel right now. It might feel chaotic or overwhelming, but all in all, it will be resolved in the end. And it's not my problem to worry about. God got me. I'm just gotta let it go and let God things of the past. Certain worries, like worrying, honestly, is such a burden. And when you just allow yourself to let it go, don't you feel better? So even when things feel heavy internally, there's still something higher and steady that's going to help you hold everything together. It might hold it together way better than you can. So just remember that when everything feels like you've got so much on your plate, when you do have a lot on your plate, I'm not going to say you don't, but when it feels like you really have so much to do, you have to remind yourself that everything is still work out in the best way possible, even when I'm not in control of it. So thank you so much guys for watching my video. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my speed time pad drawing of Raven. And I believe the next person I'm doing is Cyborg, or is it Beast Boy, or is it Robin? We're gonna see, or is it Moonbee, or Jinx? Oh my god. Oh my god. But bye guys.